What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on D's Analysis. We're going to be looking at MicroStrategy, Bitcoin, and using some indicators as well as technical analysis. We have our run up on the upward sloping trend line and bottom of the channel. Looking very good. Looks like we ended up getting somewhat of like a double bottom pattern right now. We'll see how it plays out. Last week it closed very well. We closed above this 295 to 283 level. But as you can see, it looks like we're getting that double bottom shape right now. That's what it looks like it's playing out to be. So we'll see how it ends up. So definitely a good sign to see right now. Nothing's guaranteed, of course, because we can always fall through, but we've respected this bottom of the channel very well, and we had this support underneath price as well as this downward sloping trend line that we came to retest, and we got a strong bounce off of it. And now we're holding this level right here, which is a good sign. We definitely want to get above this downward sloping trend line right here and push up higher. On the daily SMAs, as you can see time and time again, once the 20 crosses the 50 and we close above the 2, we get nice moves up. So it doesn't play out like that every time, but it usually is the start of a strong move. But as you can see, we do get fake outs occasionally. So we want to see this golden cross happen, and when you combine the sentiment of Bitcoin along with the technicals, it increases the odds that we can start, a nice little move up. On the weekly, we got a strong bounce off the 50, which also supported price at this upward sloping trend line along with this horizontal level of support. So that was all confluenced together to allow price to push up higher. On the daily Bollinger Bands, we got a close above the blue band. Beautiful sign. So let's see if we get a retest off the blue band and push up to the top and get to that red band over there. Now if we get to the red band, hopefully we get a close right near it, because that close right near it would be perfect, because we'd be closing above this downward sloping trend line, and then maybe we can get a retest off of that and move up higher. When we're looking at TA or technical analysis, we're just trying to break each level step by step, pretty much take our stairs on the way up and then eventually take the elevator. But we want to take the stairs on the way up. It gives price nice stability in case you get a pullback and you have price underneath you with a lot of support. The weekly Bollinger Bands, we got to bounce off the green band. Perfect move, additional confluence, which we've talked about multiple times. And all these things combined just held price up pretty well. The RSI on the daily looks amazing. Looks like we're getting a inverse head and shoulders. As you can see here, I'll draw it out for anybody who doesn't see it. You got your shoulder here, your head, and your other shoulder. This is a bullish pattern that usually can push up. And you measure from the neckline, these two here, to the top of the head, and that gives you your measured target. But with something like MicroStrategy, this thing can overshoot the target by far. So let's see if we get a move all the way up to the top of the range and we get to overbought territory. That's what we want to see for an extended period. On the weekly, we're making our way up to the moving average, the yellow line. So let's see if we get a bounce. Let's see if it acts as resistance, or we can break through it and retest off of it and push up higher. On the MACD, we're making higher highs, higher lows. It looks like we're pushing back to the moving average, but we are seeing volume decrease, which is a perfect sign. Let's see if we can get that push and start getting some green candles to the upside. On the weekly, we're kind of still in the same position. We're just waiting to see this blue curl back up and overtake this orange, and then see some green candles push up. On Bitcoin, we're looking good. We got a close above the 50-day SMA. We closed back underneath it. So let's see how today plays out. I thought it was possibly just going to be a retest, but it looks like we closed back under it. So let's see if today gives us a good day and we close back above, and then we can push our way up higher. On a larger time frame, we do have the top of these candles here where price could be getting a bounce off of right here, which is a perfect sign. It got a bounce right there, so let's see if that holds. But yeah, this is a trend line from the top of these moves here. So all the recent highs, 2021 highs, to the high in April and March, and now we're getting a bounce off of this level. So let's see if it's time to push up higher. We also do have a flagpole on Bitcoin. When you measure from this move to here, you have a flagpole that could potentially be calling the next move. If we take that flagpole and measure it out, we're looking at about 150,000. So let's see how that plays out. If we get 150,000 Bitcoin, we could probably be looking at a 1200 MSTR, which would be amazing. We'd love to see that. And then we're also going to talk about the Bitcoin divided by the VIX and show you guys this chart. It looks amazing. In economic downturns, we've had sharp moves up, uncertainty with the VIX spiking, and Bitcoin has prevailed every single time. And it looks like we could be getting a sharp move up and push up higher. We got a nice wick off of it, just how we have in the past. And let's see what happens now. And we have seen correlation between the two, where between every single move, it pushes to the 886 between the first two. And now we're expecting that on the third one to be the final move. So we had the 886 on the first one. It shot a little past it. We had the 886 here. And we have the 886 right here. We just got to bounce off of it. We hit it once, and now we touched the 886 again, and we got a sharp move. So let's see if this is the final move and we push up higher. And then when you compare Bitcoin to the S&P 500, it's held up pretty well. You can see the S&P 500 is in the purple, and honestly, Bitcoin just got a mini move of it. Usually Bitcoin would do an exaggerated move of the S&P 500. So you'd see like a larger push down, but it was just a minor pullback when the S&P 500 dropped 20%. Typically on a 20% drop on Bitcoin, Bitcoin's going to drop, a 20% drop on the S&P 500, Bitcoin's going to drop 35% or something like that, or even more. So it all depends on the sentiment around it, but it held up very well, surprisingly. That's a great sign to see though, because that allows MicroStrategy to stay up as well. And the more that MicroStrategy can hold up in the downturns, then that allows for price to be higher in the future. MSTR divided by Bitcoin, still looking good. We broke out here. We got a retest, and now it looks like we're pushing higher. Let's see if this is the final retest, or if we break down further and push down to lower levels. And finally, we're going to come and do some price targets for anybody who hasn't seen it before. I've seen that we're getting some new people in the channel, so I definitely want to talk about this again. You have your flagpole here, which essentially called this move almost to the T. And then if you take this flagpole and we measure it out, that gives us our potential next target, which is anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200. And then when we break down the Fibonacci, for anybody who has not seen this as well, we have two ways that we use it. We use it for pullbacks and we use it for extension. On the pullback, first flagpole or bull pattern, pullback right here to 618. Got a strong retest off the golden zone, which is the 0.5 to the 618. It's a strong level of support to continue price. And then we got the same thing here to 618. So let's see if we get a bounce just how we did the first time with the flagpole pointing up higher. And then we're going to flip the Fibonacci and we're going to pull it down to here. Pull it down to here. That gave you the 2618 to the 2272. You got to blow off top, so you kind of overshot it. That's okay. And then we're going to pull it to this next move here. The next flagpole. And that lines up with our target here. That's how we got this gray box with this 2618 to the 2272. So let's see if we do the same thing. Maybe you blow past it, shoot a little bit higher. Then we repeat for leg 4 if economic data holds up well. That's what I'm seeing here on MicroStrategy. I think things are looking good. Bitcoin's starting to turn around a little bit. We just need some momentum. And on Bitcoin, we need to break this. We need to break this minor level of support, hold this, and we have to get back in here. We have to get back above 92.8 and start playing in this range again. We want to play in this range. This is where we want to be. That's all I have for you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.